NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
We know how.
Trick-or-treating and indoor haunted houses are being discouraged by the CDC this Halloween. It's part of a larger warning for upcoming holidays to control the spread of COVID-19. Thank you for joining us for the Nightly Check-In. I'm Catherine Garcia. State officials worry that the upcoming holidays could really tip the scale in the wrong direction.
One of the things I worry about when I think about the holidays is people won't remain vigilant and we could see another surge in cases.
Family doctor Natasha Bouillon says she has been telling her patients every day the holidays aren't canceled, but you do need to stay vigilant. The CDC released guidelines for how to Halloween safely. High-risk activities include traditional trick-or-treating and indoor haunted houses. Instead, they say substitute it with a moderate risk activity like one-way trick-or-treating. In other words, agreeing with your neighborhood to line up goodie bags for kids to come by and grab. That still allows for social distancing and limiting the number of people you actually interact with, and also low-risk activities.
Things that you do where you only interact with your household contacts. So things like pumpkin carving at home, having a virtual costume contest.
The CDC recommends people avoid wearing a costume mask over a cloth mask because it can make it difficult to breathe. Instead, they recommend you opt for a Halloween-inspired cloth mask. Well, the people who run California's amusement parks say the guidance issued by Governor Gavin Newsom to keep their parks closed is unfair and unreasonable, and they're calling on the governor to reconsider. The heads of Universal Studios, Legoland, Knott's Berry Farm, and Disneyland held a joint news conference today, saying requiring parks to reserve tickets and contact each guest 24 hours before a visit would be impossible for some parks. They also say restricting indoor restaurants to 25% capacity is arbitrary and contradicts guidelines for other restaurants that can be seated up to 50%.
The health and safety of our guests and team members has always been a top priority for all of our parks. Our parks are controlled. They're primarily outdoor businesses that have proven that we can operate responsibly. Parks should be in Tier 3, along with other industries that have proven they can also open responsibly.
We should mention Universal Studios is owned by our parent company, NBC Universal. The theme parks say they are exploring legal action in order to pressure the state into allowing them to reopen. All right, here's a look for you now at the latest coronavirus numbers here in this county. Health officials are reporting 263 new cases today. That's out of more than 10,000 tests. It's a daily positive rate of 3%. 6 more San Diegans have died. That brings the total deaths to 863 since the pandemic began. Also, 6 new outbreaks have been identified. That makes for 32 outbreaks in the past week. Those outbreaks accounting for 147 cases. The FBI said Iran is interfering in the upcoming presidential election here in the U.S. and that Russia has also obtained American voter information, just like back in 2016. FBI Director Christopher Wray said Iran has sent spoofed emails to some American voters to try and intimidate them and also to incite social unrest. Director Wray said Iran is also distributing content, including a video that implies people could cast fraudulent votes even from overseas. The FBI says that's simply not true. As for Russia, the FBI said it could use voter registration data to communicate false information. The FBI said it did catch the threat early and acted on it. Reaction around the world continues tonight following Pope Francis saying he supports same-sex civil unions. His comments are the strongest support yet from the religious leader who has said gay people are the children of God. San Diegan MJ Perez says he was shocked when he woke up to the news today. He says he grew up in the Catholic Church. He is gay. He said he hopes the announcement will make other people like him feel that they belong.
I hope that there is a chubby Mexican-American young boy somewhere who, because of this announcement by the Pope, believes that he is worthy, that he can be loved by Jesus, and that he is perfect just the way he is.
Critics of the Pope say his comments are against the church's teachings. The spokesperson for the Catholic Diocese of San Diego says the Pope's comments are not surprising because of the previous statements he's made. Well, there is a potential for rain in the forecast. Dagmar joins us right after a quick break.
NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe. We know how.
Bill Howe is a family-run company that is as diverse as their services, promotes employees from within, and gives back generously to the San Diego community.
I am Bill Howe.
I am Bill Howe.
We are Bill Howe. We are Bill Howe. Because we know how.
Here's what we're ending up seeing outside for your Thursday. It's going to be really pretty out there. So the continuation of this cooling trend through Thursday, through this weekend really, and that may actually end with a chance of our first measurable rain. Not today. The coast will be in the upper 60s and the low 70s. You're looking at the inland valleys at right around that low to mid 70 mark, and seeing the mountains at anywhere from the upper 70s into, or the upper 60s rather, into the low 70s. So very kind of perfect outdoor weather hiking day in through the mountains, Palomar, Mount Laguna, and Julian. Deserts, you're looking at now the upper 80s and the low 90s. So you've got a definite cool down in there. A beautiful day, partly cloudy skies here and there, a few high clouds wisping through, and that's about it. But we are looking at a chance for rain for this weekend. We'll keep bringing you that as we head closer.
The saying goes, if you want something done, do it yourself. And nobody maybe knows that more than a group of Chula Vista pickleball players.
First, we raised $6,000 for 8 permanent nets. Then we raised another $11,000.
Jackie Metcalf is part of a group of pickleball players who raised that money so the city of Chula Vista could build them permanent pickleball courts. The city originally said there just wasn't enough money in the budget, so that's when they took matters into their own hands. If you don't know what it is, pickleball, you can see here, it's basically tennis with a wiffle ball. Pickleball courts are pretty limited in San Diego, but because of the money raised by the players, the city, Chula Vista, will now complete converting 2 South Bay courts into 8 permanent pickleball courts for them. That's going to do it for our nightly check-in. Have a great night.